Good evening, everyone, and happy holidays. Welcome in as we present this week's all-new edition of the Milford Informer. I am Milford TV's Executive Director, Tim Coet. We thought we might delay this edition of the Informer a little bit later into the month of December, but as it turns out, we've got two exciting holiday-themed pieces ready to go for you this evening. So we're here on this very first day of the month of December to present our latest edition of the Informer for you. We hope everyone had an outstanding Thanksgiving holiday, and your holiday season is off to a great start. It tends to go by in a blink these weeks in between Thanksgiving and Christmas time, so we hope everyone is getting out there and making the most of this season. There are a lot of exciting events on the horizon here in the Milford community. We'll remind you of several of them here as we go along on the show here tonight. We also have two very holiday-themed pieces to bring you on the show tonight too. One that takes a look back on an exciting Thanksgiving event that took place with our good friends over at the Milford Youth Center, and we will also take a look ahead to the return of the Nutcracker here in the Milford community, courtesy of the Greater Milford Ballet. The curtain will rise on those performances coming up in just a couple of short weeks, so we'll take a look back at Thanksgiving and then take a look ahead to the Christmas season here on the Milford Informer tonight. So without further ado, let's dive into our top stories.
Annual Thanksgiving dinner that we have for the after-school members, so we're very proud of it. It's the biggest event that we have that really showcases how much we really have the community involved in everything we do. So we have businesses from all over Milford and Bellingham, like Whole Foods, donate all the ham, you name it, we have it. Most of it was all donated. If anything was purchased, it was due to amazing donations from the community, including Barbell 88, New Human, and numerous individual donations. So really fun event that we really like to put on for our after-school members, volunteers, and the community.
This brings every single person together, every business. It brings town hall over here. We invited the school district in, and it just creates a community that the kids can look on, reflect on, and be proud of.
It's a very well-attended event, lots of activity here. It's a really nice thing for the community, and as you can tell, the kids really are enjoying this experience.
What's the importance of an event like this?
You need to be thankful for your food.
Be thankful, thankful for everyone, your friends.
Be thankful for everybody in this vicinity.
Everyone.
Yeah. Because you can show how grateful you are, and they're helping others,
And it helps spread the word about the youth center.
It just brings so much awareness to, especially during the holidays, a lot of families that can't afford to have, a homemade meal or just, a table that can share a meal with their friends and, family and just kind of have a good time.
We're here to make sure that kids are getting hot meals and that they're showing that they're appreciated and that we want them to be here and we appreciate everything that they're doing.
Yeah, dessert. Be thankful for your food, bro. All the food is very good. My parents don't need to cook dinner tonight, so that's good.
What's your favorite Thanksgiving?
Turkey. Obviously. Turkey's best, right? Best, yeah.
I gotta say the ham, you already know. I'm loving the turkey. I'm gobbling it like the turkey gobbles. Gobble that turkey up. I love turkey.
I got turkey because the same reasons why, because of him, yeah.
I got turkey because just turkey, it's a wild animal and you gotta eat it.
I like the turkey because it just go crazy. Who doesn't love turkey?
It's gotta be turkey because it's the main thing of the whole season. Yeah.
What's your favorite part of this event?
Honestly, the gym and the food.
I would say my favorite part as a volunteer is giving back to the community and seeing all the smiles on all these kids' faces as they're getting to engage with friends and food and have fun together.
This event could not have happened without Miss Joanna Abrantes, our program coordinator. She's a little camera shy, so I'm going to respect that. But again, if you see any of this, she's done all the calls, all the emails, all the coordinating. Obviously, with the help of part-time staff, our AmeriCorps members, Emily did the beautiful menu that we were able to do this year. But it's a huge collective effort, but could not have been accomplished without Joanna as well. So I just want to make sure I give her a shout out because she's not in front of the camera today. And David Abrantes, her husband, and the Deludes, and our board members. I mean, it really is everybody. So thank you. And Milford TV. How can I not thank you guys? So, okay, sorry, I have to keep going. The Greenleaf Garden Club and Milford Town Library. I mean, it's such a full story. Oh, ERA, Key Realty does all the food delivery. Earl.
Hi.
So thank you.
We have a treat for you on the Milford Informer this week as we're coming to you on location from the Deane School of Dance in Mendon, the home of the Greater Milford Ballet, and we're so pleased to be joined by Ms. Cynthia. She is the director here at the Greater Milford Ballet. Ms. Cynthia, it's so great to speak with you. Welcome on to Milford TV.
Oh, well, welcome to the Deane School, and thank you for having me.
So obviously, Cynthia, such a rich history here with the Deane School of Dance, with the Greater Milford Ballet. For any folks out there in the community who might not be familiar, I'd love for you to share with us a little bit of a history of the school, of the company, how long you've been here, and how the school first got started.
Oh, certainly. Well, in 1973, Miss Georgia, my mom, moved here and decided she wanted to add some culture to the town of Mendon. So she started her Deane School of Dance, which was the second Deane School. We have one in Salem as well, which she ran with her sister. So she came out here initially to retire, but then that lasted about 2 seconds and decided that, she wanted to do this. And there weren't any other studios around that I recall. So there were so many people that joined. So she had her classes, and after 2 years, she decided that she'd like to put on something special, which I know we see a lot of today. We have nutcrackers everywhere today. But it wasn't anything that happened, well, it was 43 years ago, actually, that this is our 43rd year. So she thought that might be a good one to do. So she started just with her students. She didn't have open call. And she cast the whole show. And there were probably 100 to 150 people within the first 2 years of the show. And because of that, of course, the whole community knew somebody in the show. So we had to do several shows each year. But so that's actually how it got started. And a good friend of hers from Boston Ballet by the name of Laura Young helped her doing the choreography. So she basically hired her to do certain parts of it. My mother did parts where there was a little drama involved, as well as dance, because my mother graduated from Emerson and she wanted to be a Hollywood star. So she had that theater side to her. So she really enjoyed doing that. So, but that's how it got started. And it's just, except for the 1 year, I think it was 2020, where COVID came, that was the only one we did not do. So we've held on all these years, and there's always so many people that will come and audition or to come and see the show. People will come to me during intermission or after the show and say, we've been coming to this since the very first show when your mother was directing, and I haven't missed one, I don't think, which is really something amazing, actually, that they didn't even skip any, and they still come today, and they'll come and see me and talk about Miss Georgia, who was kind of a force of nature. If you've heard of her, she's very well known in the dance world. And of course, in this area, wherever we would go, if Miss Georgia wanted something, she got it. Pretty much everybody knew who she was, So it was a labor of love, let's say. But now we have, our lower level has thousands of costumes. We have a costume mistress that organizes everything. We vary costumes from year to year, so we'll go to one set of costumes, say for the snow scene, and then the following year we might use a different one and then go back to it. So there's a little bit of difference when people do come every year. And I try to do that too. I try to add characters and change choreography a little bit. So it's a nice positive thing for people today to come to. And also it's a lot closer than going to Boston and less expensive. So, but that's my particular rendition of the history. What else would you like to know?
It's a fascinating history, and it's interesting to hear how the school and the company have grown from maybe some humble beginnings, and it feels as though now it's quite a large reach for the studio, for the company, and so I'm curious from the earliest days to now, what has that evolution been like for the school and for the Greater Milford Ballet?
Well, actually, the school, when we were the only school around, there may have been one in Milford, but nothing in Mendon. I can't even count. She could have had 200, 250 students, which was a lot, considering that Mendon, the whole population is probably like 2,000 people. But we had people from everywhere, you know. So Mendon has actually developed so much too. But nowadays, there are a lot of schools that do mainly acrobatics and competition. So a lot of kids will go there. So that does take away from schools like ours, because we mainly focus on ballet. We do have a little tap and we have some jazz, but ballet is our main thing that we do. And this year we have a Russian ballerina by the name of Marina Van Winkle. She's been in the country for about 15 years, but she is fantastic teacher, and she gets things done. But she's very funny too. But strict but funny. We have Susanna Venerbeck, who was in Boston Ballet. That was a student of ours way back when we had the Salem studio. And she was in Boston Ballet as principal dancer for several years. And then we have someone that's been with us a shorter amount of time. Her name's Stephanie Robitaille, and she was a performer at Disney down in Florida, Disney World, I guess it is, in Florida for 10 years. And she moved back up here, which is where she came from. And I put the word out, and she came. She's been here since. The kids love her. She's very theatrical and fun. She does wonderful choreography, so we have a nice balance. And then there's me, who I do have a class, a tap class. I like to keep my hand in a little, but I tend to fill in if somebody's sick or there's, somebody dies or something like that in their family and they can't be here, then they just call me and I fill in. So I could teach any class, but I'd rather not right now because I have so much office work to do, and now the Nutcracker because I have to stage all of that. So, but it's something I love to do. So it's, I look forward to this season every year, and I'm glad people are enjoying it along with me.
It seems like you've created quite a family here, where you've had students that maybe have moved on and then eventually come back and continue to be put. So that must be very rewarding to have that sort of aspect.
It is. In fact, most recently, this past Saturday, there are two of our somewhat recent graduates who were students throughout their lives came back on college leave for Thanksgiving, and they're right here in class. One of them filled in for one of our regular girls who was in Pennsylvania because they traveled to see her family. One gave notes on certain scenes, and they're all they come in for classes whenever they're home in the summer. Beautiful dancers, nice family. That's one thing I noticed recently, that the families of our students, even the Nutcracker performers, some of them aren't ours, a few of them come with someone that is ours, like younger sisters of one of our dancers. Wonderful families, really nice people, can't do enough for you, are very supportive of this, and it's just nice to see, because lots of times the news is very grim when you turn the TV on. So it's nice to have a little breath of fresh air of the kind of people that we have here. So we're doing well, and there's more people join each year. After they see Nutcracker, they say, I want to do that. And we, just even 2 weeks ago, someone joined, and it's too soon. She can't be into Nutcracker now because we've been rehearsing since the beginning of October. But she said, I saw this last year, and I decided that I would like to get involved in this. So I'm starting right now to get my point shoes on. So it's just inspiring to see the dancers and what they can do.
It's a special group for sure.
Yeah.
You've referenced your mom a couple of times, Miss Georgia,
Yes.
who is the founder of the school.
Yeah.
I feel like I've only just scratched the surface learning about her life. We were chatting a little bit before we came on air.
Yeah.
When you reflect now on her impact here at the school and her legacy, she just seemed like she led a fascinating life, a very full life,
did.
and leaves behind, I'm sure, a lasting impact here still to this day.
Absolutely. And you know, the time that's passed since she passed away, her legacy has not diminished an iota. It's like grows, if anything. And we always put something in the inside page of the program about her. And update it a little bit, you know, each year. But she always said, if you're doing something you like, you never have to work a day in your life, which I know was Will Rogers' famous quote, but she used to use that a lot because she really enjoyed it. She goes, I just come downstairs and here we are, 5, 6, 7, 8, and she was ready to go. And she just loved it. And even if she didn't feel well on a specific day, once she's, well, you know, I'm doing class anyway, so don't worry, you won't have to do it. But after class, she said, you know, I'm glad that I decided to do it because I feel so much better, because it's such a positive energy that she spread to everybody. So, I mean, she has students from all over the world. She knows people, a lot of people from a lot of they're kind of seminars, but they were the big conferences, that the Gold's conferences, they come all over the world. And she was always flown out to Arizona as the special guest, and, you know, all expenses paid, and she could bring another dance teacher with her. And they were there for about a week. She took some of the classes, even if she was almost 100. I think 100 was her last visit there. And she performed. And they gave her a Lifetime Achievement Award like 3 times, because the first one they thought, how long, you know, can this possibly last? But it was the 3rd time, and she'd sing and then she'd dance, and everybody that saw her said, oh, can I be your friend on Facebook? So she said, I don't even know who some of these people are, but I think I met them at the conference, right? And she got around. I mean, she knew every restaurant or every place she went. They all knew Miss Georgia, and even the Chamber of Commerce gave her a special party, and the Women's Club at the Chamber of Commerce gave her a separate 100th party, so I have videos of all this. But yeah, I mean, wherever she went, even the bank, Rockland Bank, gave her, the manager, who was John, I don't remember his last name, gave her a 100th birthday party, bought a cake, balloons, and everybody that came in met her, you know. It was just, you know, and she loved that. She loved people, you know, she loved doing all that. But as a performer, you know, one of my things, because I'm a school teacher by trade, actually, but I was trained in dance my whole life, so in music and all. But I always looked at her and I thought, you know, this, as a performer, I think a lot of professional performers may have things in their lives that aren't perfect. You hear stories all the time. But she said, when I got on stage and people would applaud for us, and the 3 Deane sisters, for example, when they traveled, she said that all that positive energy came to us. So that was kind of something she always looked for in meeting people in the public. That was like she was performing, but rather just socially. So all that came back to her in all the things she did, which she enjoyed. And consequently, everybody enjoyed it along with her, including me. She dragged me right along with her for all those years, you know. So, yeah.
A special person, to be sure, and,
yes.
and someone who, again, has a pretty indelible mark in dance and certainly here in Mendon, to be sure. Cynthia, obviously the performances are right around the corner. The 43rd production of the Nutcracker. Again, such a great institution, such a great holiday tradition to have at this time of year. I'm curious how the rehearsal process has been going. You mentioned you've been in rehearsal since October.
Yes, well, I run the Sunday rehearsal, so that's the theatrical part. So and I restage it a little bit every year. And we have a lot of fun doing it because well, I can have a good sense of humor during rehearsal, so it's always something they want to come to and not like, oh no, we have rehearsal. But so those are going well. I think probably this coming Sunday, I could possibly say to them, I can put this scene on the stage tomorrow. And that's what they look for, you know? So they like hearing that, oh, gee, I must have been pretty good, you know? But, and I think she probably did something like that too. She always made herself known. In fact, when she first got here, not to digress too much, but I thought of this while you were talking. She was here 6 months of dance teaching, and she got a postcard from someone that apparently was her student, and all it said on the postcard was, Miss Georgia, Mendon, Mass, from Brazil, and it got to her. That's how well known. So even the postman knew where she was, you know. And that kind of sums up the whole vibe that she produced, you know. So, I mean, I'm glad she lived as long as she did, almost 103. So she enjoyed everything she did longer. And was able to spread all that cheer around.
Absolutely, and I'm sure this was probably a particularly meaningful time of year for her with the productions of the Nutcracker.
Definitely.
And so just to give all of the particulars for this year's performances, the 2023 performance, the 43rd production of the Nutcracker, is taking place on December 16th and 17th with 2 p.m. performances at Milford High School. Now this is the first time back in Milford for a couple of years, so that must be great to be back again at Milford High School.
Yeah, so they updated a lot of their things, so which is great. So we're back, and it is called the Greater Milford Ballet. So we thought that would be a nice thing to do. But yeah, so we're looking forward to it, and I think a lot of people that are Milford residents I've gotten a lot of calls. Oh, it's back in Milford. This is great. I'd like to go. You know, so that's kind of nice too.
And right in the middle of a string of really special holiday events in Milford with Claflin Hill, with other events happening. A great addition to that to have the Greater Milford Ballet doing the Nutcracker in Milford once again. So again, those dates are December 16th and 17th with 2 p.m. performances. Tickets, how do folks go about purchasing tickets?
Well, there's several ways. They usually have some tickets at the door, so if it's the last minute, you can come, and I'll be at the door with one of our board members. But people that are in the show get their tickets from me, and any of their close friends that want tickets, they can get them through their friend. Also, the Charles River Bank has been selling tickets for us for the last few years, so I supply them with tickets in various places for both days. So that will be probably useful for people that live in Mendon, because it's Charles River Bank in Mendon on Hastings Street. So they do that.
Yeah. So, and I'm sure tickets go fast with this being such an anticipated event.
It's becoming, yes. Yes.
So definitely good for folks to purchase tickets in advance, possibly some tickets available at the door as well. Cynthia, I'm sure there's probably a lot of traditional aspects of the performance year after year. I'm sure there's also some things that make each performance unique and special. When you see how things are coming together for this year, what makes this year's production of the Nutcracker particularly special for you?
Well, we do change it each year, at least since I've been here. I don't just follow like a cookie cutter format. So I'm mostly responsible for the party scene and the battle scene, which there's a lot of acting as well as dancing. And those are things I change every year. We have newer costumes. This year, as I had spoken to you before, we had 2 little elves, which are the youngest people in the show. They were among many little babies we have during the week in class. And they're going to have their little Santa bags and their elf outfits, and they're just adorable. We have characters called the Cousins, which are fairly new that I added. We have a little bear that one of the younger girls carries that turns into a full-size bear. And actually, the dolls over there, I should have brought them over here with me, but we have dolls that are changed from the little doll size to life-size dolls that dance. So when the girl that has the bear sees this, she said, well, can you turn my bear into a big bear? Just like that. And she does a little pantomime with Drosselmeyer, and he changed it. And all of a sudden, the bear comes out, and they're dancing together, full-size bear. So I had created that character as well. And there are probably others, too, that I can't think of, because I update every year. So, but it makes it fresh. Not just for the people that have been with us 43 years, but for the people that are involved in the show, because they enjoy doing different things. I changed the adults that do a adult kind of a ballroom kind of thing in the party, and their dance is a little bit different too. So, and that keeps them interested too. Oh, we're going to do something new. Oh, this is going to be good, So those are the things. I don't think the second act has some new costumes, but I don't know if it's changed quite as much, because there's not as much acting in the Palace of Sweets. And of course, we always hire 2 professional dancers, one to do the Sugar Plum Fairy and one to be her partner as the Cavalier. This year, the 2 people are from the Newport Contemporary Ballet, and they used to be called something else. It's not even Festival Ballet. We've had people from there as well. We've had people from Boston Ballet. We've had people from New York City Ballet and American Ballet Theater, which I mentioned. Misty Copeland was with us, and I believe it was 2009 with that. And that was, I think it was right as she was getting big. And then after that, she really took off. So you said you might have remembered who she was. But so every year we have, professionals that come in to add a lot of excitement to the end of the show.
It's such a great tradition, yes. Such an incredible institution here in the area, the Deane School of Dance, the Greater Milford Ballet. And so once again, their 43rd production of the Nutcracker is coming up on December 16th and 17th with 2 p.m. performances each day at Milford High School. So back in Milford once again for this holiday season. We highly encourage everyone in the community, if you haven't already gotten tickets, make sure you do so and come out and enjoy just a real treat here in the area. And you'll get to see a lot of local performers as well from across this region participate in the production as well. So we certainly wish you all the best for this year's production, and we're so appreciative of you sharing just a little bit of the rich history here from the Deane School of Dance and the Greater Milford Ballet. Miss Cynthia, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, and I hope you'll come join us that weekend. I look forward to seeing you in the audience so you can see all the things I'm talking about.
We're looking forward to it. Thank you again. We appreciate it.
You're very welcome.
Now again, as we mentioned, there are a lot of exciting holiday events on tap here on Milford TV that we will have coverage for, a lot of great events around the community. You saw the promo for the Nutcracker, which is coming up courtesy of the Greater Milford Ballet in a couple of weeks, but a lot of events going on this weekend if you're joining us on our premiere airtime. As a matter of fact, if you're joining us here on the evening of December 1st, we are already out in the field covering the Citizens for Milford tree lighting. We will have coverage of that coming up on our next edition of the Milford Informer. And this weekend, a lot of great events as well. GMCC's holiday concert will be taking place this weekend. Also the Santa Parade, which might be going on under some inclement weather on Sunday, December 3rd, but we will be there live. We'll be broadcasting live as well through the raindrops. So if you don't want to head out to the parade route in person, you'll be able to catch that parade coverage right here on Milford TV on Sunday, December 3rd. We will also have coverage of the Milford Regional Medical Center's Tree of Life ceremony. We will have coverage of the Claflin Hill Holiday Pops performance as well, and we'll have a host of school concerts that we will be covering for you in the next few weeks, and we'll be working hard to get those turned over and ready to air prior to the holidays. So a ton of holiday events happening across the Milford community. We will be there for just about all of them, and so you can expect all of that great coverage coming up here in the weeks to come throughout the month of December here on Milford TV. We hope you will join us for all of those, and we hope you'll join us right back here for another all-new edition of the Milford Informer 2 weeks from now. But that's going to wrap things up for this week. Again, from all of us here at Milford TV, this is Tim Coet saying have a great week. So long, everybody.